best of 3, so we're not at match point just yet. They need 2 more to close it out. Let's see if they can get number 2 right now.
Still a long road ahead of them, starting it out with a Capital ban. And folks in the crowd, I was looking through Twitter, because that's what you do in between games, right? And somebody was like, I don't think that the crowd at USN's very lively. Can you believe that, guys? You guys want to tell them how loud you can be? Let's hear some noise, guys. Get those claps going. Let's let them know this is Rainbow Six Siege, baby. That's right. Team Reciprocity, SSG, Nomad off the board. Echo's going to be the secondary defensive ban. And last ban coming in from SSG. They banned out the Capital first, and they get the last ban as well. They'll remove the Valkyrie from play since she has so much intel on this map.
Second time we've seen the Valkyrie get banned out here in this series, along with a couple other returning bans there too. Nomad, of course, being the most notable one for the attack, I think, along with the Capital, both taking out a lot of utility from the attackers. So we shall have to see how that affects them once we get in game. It's looking like Spacestation Gaming gets the start on defense this time. They're going to go into the basement for the first round.
All right, no Bandit online, so won't have to worry about that too much. Only Retro as the hard destruct operator. So, gonna have to worry about the Thermite, but it should be pretty easy for them to get access to Garage because it's only a mute. No one else can possibly deny them the wall, unless obviously someone shoots Thermite in the head. Then you're gonna have some problems, but more than likely not gonna happen. Retro, a very good support player, bides his time, doesn't overpeak things, and really doesn't take any gunfights unless he absolutely has to.
Team's reinforcements being set up now for SSG as they'll play into the basement. We should expect a good amount of spread for these guys, and more than likely at least 1 or 2 try to play upstairs to delay Reciprocity on their attack. When it comes to Reciprocity here, got a good amount of utility. They know what to focus on. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out for them. They have the toolkits they need to get access to the garage door and then eventually make that push.
And I want you guys all to watch the bottom right of your guys' screens. Watch what Rampy does as they quickly pull it away. But plenty of soft destruction that he's been doing upstairs with that secondary shotgun. And that is the beauty of the kit of Mozzie. You can do all of this stuff by yourself. You have the secondary super shorty, you have your reinforcements as well as your pests. You can set up a perfect roam game all by yourself. And that's exactly what Rampy's accomplishing all the way upstairs.
Foxay is going to move to some of the front windows here first, trying to check and see if anything has been presented, but won't be the case. We'll check out that front door, just trying to take out the default camp for the time being, though. Well, he does get a little bit of fire back. A bit of pressure actually coming into Foxay here. There's one close to the window in the connector as well. Nix will have to join him here to make sure nothing goes awry over the next few seconds.
Well, Retro going to be going for the third panel from left to right. 1, 2, 3. That's how they count him out, and he's going to get it. Obviously, no bandit tricking going to be happening from SSG like we were talking about earlier. So they have the wall open now in pretty early fashion, but they still have to worry about a lot of SSG members waiting for them to try and put a diffuser down. Evil Eyes, Nitro Cells, the lot. That's what they have to worry about. Vert does have some impacts they can get with that first Evil Eye with, excuse me. He is going to be able to secure that. Second exothermic charge going down as Rampy sees a couple of track stingers get set by the gridlock of Nyx. Still plenty of time on the board.
Managed to take out the lead stinger there, so it will not spread any further when you take out the one that does the jumping. Now he can safely hold the rest of the yellow stairs. It's not just him here either. Once again, Reciprocity, besides, of course, getting the wall open, you should note there's no Bandit or Cade on the defensive side here, so no way to deny that opening. Reciprocity's not made necessarily a huge amount of progress on getting map control. Still a lot to get past here, including some above them that they are going to have to deal with, otherwise they'll quickly be dispatched upon moving into the site here.
They need to work on finding this second Evil Eye, because that's going to be all the intel that Space Station needs to try and deny this. They do still have piano control, so they can always go for the the vertical play from upstairs in order to stop this diffuser. Toxic Babe's now going down, but Reciprocity, not very much presence on the map.
Rampy still patiently holding control of Piano, as Stokes had just mentioned, waiting for a push from Yellow, but as you can see, there isn't really a push from Yellow at all at the moment here from Reciprocity. There was a couple players outside, but from our silhouettes, it doesn't look like they're going to make an attempt at it, so they will hold the full control. Smokes are moving in from Rec. They're going to hope to obscure it here now, but just as so, the smoke on SSG is throwing his gas grenades back at them. Vert with a 1-for-1 exchange. Vert just getting away with it right now, walking right up the cafeteria and deleting folks. Rampy with the wrap back down, but they still have Laxing outside of Yellow door, so he's going to pick up 2, finding both Thinking Nate and Rampy. How in the heck did Rec make this happen?
Well, they still need to put a diffuser down, and Vert's going to grab that quickly so he can try and patch that up. Canadian on a rotation through Z, has one to worry about to his right. Is he going to check the angle? He doesn't. That's going to be Lax with a triple on the round. Reciprocity making magic happen. That's what happens when you deny all of that information game inside of the garage. They get rid of both of the evil eyes. They have no beat on their target. And if you guys thought that crouch walking was annoying online, oh, wait till you get to land with the crowd, because you can't hear a damn thing. Man walks his way up through garage like he owns it, claims 2 kills quickly, opens up the entire site for free for Reciprocity.
Great stuff from Vert and the rest of Rec. Got to give a tip of the cap to Laxing as well for the patient play outside of the yellow door to cut off the rotate. They knew the presence was going to have to come from there. So, similarly to how we saw Fultz pull off something similar in the last map by cutting off Fox's rotate, Laxing does the same thing in this round.
Well, it was slow goings for SSG to start off, and we're still not going to a traditional site. Well, at least to start things off. Going for the split site instead, which is one we don't see happen too often. They started off on garage, and people usually start there or all the way upstairs. You've seen some teams go to lobby, for instance, before, just to try and throw the opponents off, but SSG is going to split. This site is very unique. You actually have bomb sites on 2 different floors, which is exactly why it's called split site. You have one on the mid floor inside of the tellers area, as well as one downstairs inside of server. As you can see from Bosco's screen, where you can see, well, now the overall screen, where you can see both of them split between the 2 floors, you have to play this in a very unique way. More than likely, SSG will be holding a couple of people upstairs just to waste some time as they try and get control of admin. Once they have control of admin, though, they have to try and get a diffuser down. Traditionally speaking, denied by nitro cells from underneath with a pulse manned by the man himself, Canadian.
Work out onto the field here now. We do see players looking to vie for that control that you were talking about before. Not necessarily going to go for admin just to start, though. Retro actually trying to drone, well, trying is the key word here, to drone onto the inside of the console office.
Happens to the best of us.
He's going to have to make a second attempt at that toss. But again, no harm, no foul there. Just a couple of seconds wasted, and only by him. So, drone work into the basement. They are checking this out, and Laxing looking a little bit confused right now on his drone. I imagine they do have a pretty good idea as to what's going on, though, and he's just checking for players through that hatch.
Well, slow and steady for Reciprocity. We saw them go for relatively the same thing the last time, but this time they're actually going to enter the building instead of just walking directly into sight. Quick gunfight between 2 people. It's going to be the 2 Canadians, actually, and the Canadian named Canadian wins it out. Strangely enough as well.
Namesake holds true for now. So we're going to see him pick up that opener. Foxay seemed to have the advantage at the beginning of that duel too, so great stuff for Canadian to turn that around. From the looks of it, from our perspective anyway, it seemed as though we got caught on surprise and still managed to win it.
It's always very difficult when you get in those one-on-one gunfights with the UMP-45. It's not a gun that you really want in those instances because almost everything on the offense beats it, but Canadian making some magic happen to keep himself alive and keep the hopes of his team alive as well. Rampy falls off. That's going to be the second UMP, manned by the castle, but not going to have to worry about that anymore as Nyx makes his presence known. They still have a long road ahead of them. Laxing going to cut off a rotation if somebody wants to try and drop the bathroom hatch downstairs into garage. They do have 3rd floor control, but make sure you guys are keeping an eye on that timer. They need to get this diffuser down relatively soon, and there's still plenty of nitro cells downstairs. I'm talking 3 nitro cells.
It's going to be a lot to deal with.
Well, actually, Bosco's got bar on. Never mind.
Not a lot of time to deal with it. Fultz with the next pickup here. Eliminates Laxing as the momentum from Rex seemed to be going somewhat well at the beginning of this round, but has slowed down quite drastically here in the last minute or so. Trying once again to get enough control to vie for a push, I believe, onto the upstairs side, or the 1st floor side as it would be. But once again, they do look a little lost right now in terms of what their intended destination is.
Oh, Nyx gonna open up the hatch downstairs into electrical room, or E-box as some people call it. This is a room that we don't see used actually too often unless they are playing split. Don't really see too many people transition through here, but camera gonna mark out 1. Nyx claims Fultz as the timer continues to tick down. Canadian biding his time, could win them the entire round, but Vert finds him. Bosco on the rotation though. Does he know that he still has 1? He lies in wait. They need to get the diffuser down though, so it'll be Nyx up and waiting, and Bosco right at the right time. Don't need a nitro cell to deny that one. What a patient roam game from Bosco.
That's the key word, patience, coming out of that one. He could have gone in. Yeah, he might have caught a kill, but yeah, he also might have gotten traded. That more than likely would have been the confirmed plant following that one if there wasn't someone immediately available to try and spray him. But he doesn't do that. He goes outside and patiently waits for the 0 timer plant where he has an absolute certainty of winning the duel, guaranteeing his team the round.
It's much easier to punish a an opponent that's in desperation than it is when they are focused. They're trying to fix all of these things at one time, and that's when you finally drive the knife through the heart and be like, okay, cool, we're done, let's move on. Don't have to worry about anything too much. Don't make the hero play, make the smart play.
Quick little 6-pick coming in there from Canadian. It's an interesting one. Go from the Mira to the Legion. Two very different roles being picked up there. We'll see how exactly he'll utilize that. So we're going to go, I believe we're in lobby now, right? We still have to go upstairs. Yeah. So still in some of these off-sites here, although lobby's a bit more of a common one, especially nowadays. So saving that second floor for last, question mark, if they even really need it, as this will be the third point. They should decide to not go back down the basement.
Legion, a fantastic operator, an operator that you can bring at really any moment in time, and he's going to have an impact. He's got impact grenades, as well as 8 goo mines that are invisible. Well, they more or less look like a yokai, that little invisible shimmer, kind of similar to a predator, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Some great movies, by the way. But the goo mines actually stick into your ankle and make it where you have to go through a full animation, as well as do not allow you to sprint and do damage over time. Yes, all of that. They do every single one.
Is this your daily?
Yes, this is my daily dose of I hate Legion, and this is why.
Gotcha. Stokes is this is now Stokes' balance.
This is propaganda.
Podcast.
This is propaganda.
Stokes just uses his casting platform to nerf the operators he doesn't like.
Have you heard about Jackal? He just got a nerf, though. We don't have to worry about him too much.
All right, well, we've got Reciprocity once again doing their opening investigations here. Not really any control being taken yet. There wouldn't really be a reason why you'd expect that. We're only 40 seconds into the round after all. But it does seem the large majority of players are going to start to put pressure over towards yellow entry first, maybe the garage as well.
Well, as we saw from the last 2 rounds, Reciprocity probably going to be taking a slow roll for this as the drones now come out. Spacestation's done a damn good job of working the roam game and punishing Reciprocity at every corner. They don't want that to continue to happen. An aggressive angle held from Fultz knocks Nick all the way down. If he was any other operator besides Gridlock, he would be dead.
Foxy going to go and join one of his teammates over here at the skylights, trying to isolate some of the presence from SSG. Just haven't really been able to do it. There's an opportunity, but it's missed. What is that? Fultz through the skylight gets one. He gets a bit greedy, though, and trying to go for the second as Vertical takes the same fight. But this time, the expected winner comes out on top with Vertical.
I've never seen that angle in my entire life be used. Vert looking all the way down in piano. Already lost one of his teammates, though, and Fox. It's the first time I've ever seen someone die through that. It's a very creative way to use the soft flooring. I have to add that to my own arsenal. Reinforcements right now, though, keeping the Doc alive. It's Rampy as they're holding every single cross for him. Laxian's trying to kill him from all the way downstairs, and he can accomplish that. He's just pre-firing through the wrong bit of flooring.
He's almost there. Gonna change your target slightly here. There's another player right above him in piano 2, looking for the opportunity. Bosco, just a matter of, again, patience from SSG. Wait for the timing to get yourself a kill. And hey, why not make it 2 as he goes and finds Nyx and the diffuser as well.
SMG-11, the best secondary gun in the entire game, especially when you know how to control it. It is an absolute monster, and Bosco's showing exactly why it is so damn good. Rotates back into bathroom. The denial of Reciprocity's attack has worked out so well so far. Retro finally gets Rampy after his patience pays off, but his patience might actually destroy Reciprocity's chances in this round. He just swung the window, and they only have 15 seconds to put a diffuser down, thinking they'd taken a little bit of damage from the Toxic Babe as it clips through the wall. Vert, the man with the diffuser. Retro finally falters, and it's all up to Vert, but SSG makes quick work, and that's going to be 2 rounds for them through 3.
Site number 2 control. They can go to either the basement or the second floor now, as once again the hold is strong, and Reciprocity is unable to get the map control they need to viably make a commitment to either of those sites. See exactly where SSG wants to take this. It looks like back to the basement, so avoiding the second floor in its entirety, I believe, and just sticking with those 2 what are normally off sites as their other 2.
I respect it. I feel like the game plan behind this from SSG by not going upstairs is forcing Reciprocity to roam clear, because when you do attack upstairs, you don't necessarily have to do a lot. You just have to make sure no one's in lobby and piano, and that's pretty easy to do with a pre-placed drone. That way they can't nitro cell you. Then you just take admin and take those long-distance gunfights down long desk, make sure that you can get into projector, and all of a sudden you have a diffuser down. They want to try and minimize the amount of easy access points for Reciprocity to get onto site. They're heading back downstairs now, though, after they recognized out from the last time they played this. Reciprocity is probably just going to try and walk into garage. From the garage door, we'll try and put some more utility into our information game, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Thinking Nade bringing the Mira, very unique operator that we don't see too often on Consulate, mainly because she's banned out 90% of the time. But when we do see her, there are some unique setups, and it feels like we're going to be getting that one right now. Thinking Nade putting his first black mirror inside of the bathroom. You can watch along with us in the bottom left of your guys' screen. Second one probably will go downstairs inside of kitchen, or he'll put it inside of the security office to watch for plants.
Similarly to the last time they also played into basement, though, we are not going to have any bandit or K tricking attempts come out onto that wall. They do believe that Rec can get it open with relative ease, and normally, if you know what you're doing, you can get it open with relative ease, so not going to want to mess around with trying to trick it. They will just let Rec open it up, probably right at the beginning of the round here.
And Rampy's already bagged himself a drone. If you guys saw it driving across the top floor while we were in the third-person view. Can't hop over that. Oh, you have to rappel down that one, vertical. not the best thing. It's still a very weird hop over there. Like the center segment you can actually vault over, but the two very ends you can't. You actually have to rappel down. It's a very, very weird thing. So they will get the third panel open though, and as we were talking about, Rampy with that drone, he's going to be able to use that to recognize out when someone does go for a plant. And that's going to actually help them out quite a bit. They do still have quite a bit of information game, as we were talking about earlier, but that drone is just going to add to that because it's not going to be immediately shot from the offense when anyone is off of it, because obviously the color doesn't change unless you see the light when it's active.
Nick's going to throw the last of his track slingers down at the top of yellow, prevent any roaming game from picking him up. Once again, the Rampy's here. He can just easily go along the edge of the yellow stairs and take those out. Nyx will attempt to move in for the kill, but long gone, so not going to be able to find that.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yep. As the two teams continue on this train of this best of five, SSG still in the lead. Bosco playing such a long distance with this SMG-11. Just click heads. That's what he's going for right now. Seems to be that Reciprocity is going for relatively the same attack they did the last time, slowly working their way into garage. There's no mid-floor pressure, no top floor pressure, so SSG now just waiting for them to try and make a move. Vertical, getting rid of this more than likely evil eye in the corner, I would assume. Breaks one, goes to break the barbed wire as well so they can make a quick escape if they do end up getting shot while trying to put this diffuser down. First Toxic Babe hits the floor, but it gets EMP'd.
Once again, delay here for Reciprocity. Good news is by taking care of that Toxic Babe, they should be able to move in here. Oh, Bosco had a chance to get the spray, and he nearly gets it too. Nyx.
Oh no.
Just about 25 HP left. Nyx, one more shot at this. Oh, he did get the down. There we go. It's obscured by smoke, so someone may be able to get her up a little bit later on, and it looks like they actually are going to be able to revive Nyx now. The push coming back in, a little bit bold from the drop down there. Laxing is going to be able to catch that as Canadian falls, but Rampy still has piano. It's the same problem as the last round. Shuts down a nitro cell just to finish him off. Bosco swings out for one more. Laxing's going to get a knife confirm onto Thinking. Oh, an attempt at the shotgun play from Bosco, but no. Laxing and Foxe still in this. Faults with the trade though, brings it down to a 1v1, and there's only 6 seconds left. Foxe trying to make the play, but he swings right into the recoil of Faults, who shuts it down for Space Station.
Just hold mouse one. Just do it. That's all you have to do. Look at this kill cam. Just hold mouse one. It's the Alda. You have 81 bullets. He cannot possibly walk through those at any point in time. A quick rip, and SSG is ahead by 2 on their defensive side. Reciprocity call the timeout. Try and work some things out, and honestly, it feels like they're trying to play more coordinated, and it's not working out for them. Reciprocity has done such a good job of just flying by the seat of their pants, but they're not doing that anymore. Maybe they need to go back to that, go back to these more aggressive roam clears and things along those lines, because otherwise SSG is just going to sit and let them spin on the timer. They don't care. You guys saw how patient Canadian was inside a bathroom. Finally, when they got some pressure onto site, yeah, he drops the hatch to try and get a trade on the yellow pillar, but it doesn't work out for him. But he doesn't have to worry about it. Rampy already has control of Piano. That's all he had to worry about, was keeping Rampy alive so that he could deny the plant. And that's what he did. He did his job, moved on with his day.
Rec respecting SSG far too much, in my opinion, right now. When you are kind of the underdog in a situation, consider they're down 0-1, I think that's fair to claim. They need to make a move here that makes SSG uncomfortable. SSG has the mindset and plays into the mindset that they believe they control the map right now. Rec needs to do something aggressive to change that up and give them more room to make plays that they want to make. Because right now, they're essentially being driven around by SSG in a lot of these rounds.
Well, as you guys know, timeouts. Minute long, and both teams get to talk to their coach, so Lycan gets to help out SSG as well. But inside of that minute, a lot of things can change. It can shift momentum. It can bring momentum back to a center point where Reciprocity has a little bit more play and what they can possibly do. But finally, SSG are going upstairs. This is a defense that Reciprocity hasn't seen yet, but they've been 2 straight so far, so SSG has to go to something that they probably don't want to play too much.
So I'm going to head upstairs into that site finally and go for around all 4 of the site choices. That's something that we see happen very often here.
Had a brain fart for 2 seconds and thought that we didn't play lobby. I was like, wait, no, we didn't, because that's where that crazy angle came from.
2 rounds ago.
Yeah, that was... there's still a lot more games to be played, too. That's the funny thing, so...
SSG feeling good about it as well. This is going to be good for the long-term momentum of the team. Like I said, SSG, in my eyes, was the team that would more than likely win this if we ended up going the full distance to 5 maps. The way things are looking now, we may not even get there, and we may end up with an SSG victory coming in pretty quickly. But definitely don't want to call that just yet. Rec still has a long time here to figure out how to rebound and what specifically they've been doing wrong.
Yeah, I had to pick Reciprocity because of one of 2 things. Number 1, I wanted to say devil's advocate one more time on cast, because everyone loves it when I say that. And 2, I don't always want to agree with you because it's like, okay, SSG, they're the more strat-heavy team. They've been together longer. That makes sense. I thought Reciprocity could have a shot if they were able to really channel that ability to just play without any idea, really, of what's going on. Just, hey, let's get in this game, let's just calm out and try and see what we can make happen. Fly by the seat of our pants. Hopefully things can, set in stone what we want to do. But so far it hasn't worked out for Reciprocity, and again, it feels more like they're trying to go back to playing with strats and playing a more methodical pace, when Reciprocity has not done that throughout the tournament. They've been the hyper aggro team that if you're going to swing them, they're going to swing you twice as hard, and we haven't seen that.
See Reciprocity here trying to get some pressure inside of yellow stairs so they can make a push up on top of it. But Rampy still has an extra ADS apparently, so he's going to reposition it just to the top here where the other one just expired. Just be ready to hold off these next couple of, the single lifeline charge, I suppose, that's remaining, along with anything else that his opponents are going to throw at him.
Yeah, there's only 1 concussion. They do have some verticality coming through the hatch, so they can nade all the way downstairs. And Piano, waiting for that. Reciprocity has wasted almost 2 minutes with yellow and hasn't made an adjustment just yet, and this might come punishing because they don't have an absolute IGL. It's one of those things where you have to kind of set an idea out, let it drift, and see if it gets shot down or not. So this is where trouble does lie inside of those setups. As you can see, Vert's talking things out with the rest of the squad inside of his camera there, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. And SSG more than likely just going, okay, are they going to attack, or really what's going to go on? A burst of speed, well, that's what you expect. Vert dies, though, as Canadians challenging towards console windows. Fox with another, that's a triple for him on the round. Oh, takes down Canadian as well. SSG put onto their heels. Thinking Nade makes it inside a bathroom to try and help out Fultz, who's currently inside of Long, who gets taken down from Lax. He's looking for the double on the round. It's going to be all left up to Thinking Nade to try and win it out after a burst of speed from Reciprocity. Pretty impressive with how much time was on the clock as well. Just doesn't appear that SSG was ready for that. Oh, pre-fire's coming through. He knows one has to swing, but he's going to run out of bullets too soon. Gets killed from yellow, and Laxing and the rest of the Reciprocity squad excited about that one, especially in the sub-minute time.
Rec feeling happy about that one as well. Fox specifically getting away with so much right there.
He got away with murder.
Crazy plays. He swings in and gets a swing-in kill, follows it up with 2 more as he just goes for as much control as he can quickly gather there. So Spacestation guess they were right to not want to play upstairs. That was not a sight that they were able to hold on to at the end of the day. As finally Reciprocity was able to come in with a fast strategy, and it works. And it works really well.
This is all on SSG just being a little too lackadaisical when it came down to that last minute. Just weren't ready for Reciprocity's aggression, and that's really their only option is to try and fight out of that. They can't really, set up to try and go, okay, we're going to use utility, we can adjust to the other side of the map, go to admin, or anything of the sort. They can't do that. They have to go for what is presented to them, which is go for the yellow take. Fox A quickly dispatches everyone with a triple kill, and they have map pressure. That shouldn't happen. SSG should at least be able to trade that out. They know they have to make a desperate attempt for that round. Reciprocity, honestly, getting gifted one.
So now it's time to see if they can follow this up with another success. Have changed up sights once again. And they're going back into the lobby position for this next play here. Taking a look again, setup is going to appear relatively straightforward here. Don't believe we've got any curveballs being set up by SSG.
5 seconds left.
The folks on Reciprocity wouldn't expect. So it's just a rerun of an earlier round, and we were almost able to see success from Reciprocity on this one, if I recall correctly. It was once again that late round where, again, just due to the lack of any good positioning, Reciprocity was unable to make success out of their push.
Well, Retro shifting away from the hard destructor and picks up Twitch, someone with a much better gun and a much better ability to frag. Twitch, kind of a support op if you really think about it because of the drone, but because she has an F2 and it does so much damage and has such a great rate of fire, she's a woman with a ray gun of death for her primary weapon.
Along some zappy little race cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like a halfway support op because she's supposed to get rid of like utility and stuff, but then she's a 2 armor 2 speed with a literal death ray as a weapon. So, Bosco's gonna get down on the other end of the map as Fultz is trying to keep him alive, crawls in behind the bomb chassis, checking every angle he possibly can before he goes for this pickup. But no, it'll be Rampy from upstairs with a stim pistol. Much better picking him up because it gets him back to more HP. Bosco at 75 instead of that so dangerous 20.
Fultz still waiting for an opportunity here to find the players that he's been hunting for so long, and he had it as well. Brings Retro down to just a measly 25 HP. And of course, also is going to make him much more aware of his current situation.
Well, SSG prone to waiting now as Reciprocity is still working the outside of the building, and they've really ran into every obstacle that they possibly can. You guys can see they're trying to put some pressure on yellow, a little bit of pressure on admin. They're really spread out throughout the entire map, but so is SSG. They're bunched up on one side, but they're on every single floor, so there's really only one safe area to go, and Fox finally finds it, but there's only 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Last time they were able to complete that crazy round with about 45 seconds, but I don't think that Lightning strikes twice.
I don't think so either, but let's see here for Reciprocity. Time continuing to grow lower and lower. They've already won that last round, as Stokes just mentioned, off of a last-second kind of Hail Mary play from Fox A. That leap in that worked out so well for him. But having that happen twice, it's just going to be such a tough ask.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
They're on the 40 here now. Reciprocity does look like they're going to try to swing down to the top floor, jump on top of the Space Station defenses, but with no one being taken out just yet, that is not going to be an easy task by any definition.
26 seconds, and I feel like the desperation's finally hitting Reciprocity as all the utilities pouring in. Do they know that Fultz is inside of Closet? This is going to be a big deal. Rampy trying to distract him a little bit longer as he throws himself from the piano window. Smoke's going down. Fultz with good trigger discipline takes down one and a second, and that's more than likely going to be it. Thinking Nate throwing himself in for good measure. Fox A finally gets something, and it's Canadian, but the timer, the timer, and Fultz and Bosco clean up the last two. SSG making sure that lightning doesn't happen again.
SSG claps right back and takes control to end the half. Another 4-2 half for them. 3 more to go. Just complete one rotation of sights. And they will have themselves the map and a 2-0 lead in this series.
Reciprocity had got to figure out something on the offensive side, because even inside of Clubhouse, they were opting to be a little bit more methodical sometimes, and it was punishing them. They're a lot better on timer then. I feel like they might have scrimmed Clubhouse a little bit more. Consulate might be more damaging to them on that side. I want to go back to the drawing board at a later date, but for now we're flipping sides. They got 2 rounds on their offense. This isn't too far out of reach. Consulate is a highly defensive favored map now because a lot of teams have chosen to be very aggressive to the outside of the actual map on this. More often than not, killing 2 to 3 people outside before they even get in the building. It's a very, very common thing, strangely enough.
It's causing a lot of problems. So now it must be nearly flawless here from Reciprocity if they want to have any hope of evening out this series and avoiding that very, very scary 0-2 deficit here.
Well, we are going to have the critically acclaimed at this point, Laxing Fox a roam game. Black's going to be on the Jaeger, Fox going to be on the Vigil. As the analyst desk was talking about earlier, Fox has been tending to play some more passive operators, some supporting ops to try and help out his team. Not so much at this point in time. I feel like it's finally gotten to Reciprocity that they need to try and go for these more common plays that they have been able to imbue into the maps so far. And Consulate's a map of Reciprocity before the roster moves was actually pretty dang good on. Just right now, it's not working out for them.
Should also be noted that as per a tweet from Fox yesterday, the IGL work in the game has changed a little bit apparently. It's being split at the moment between Fox and Nyx, I believe.
Oh, I saw one yesterday where he was like, yeah, we have no IGL, we have nothing, it's literally just comms.
Well, Fox said that him and Nyx were like splitting it.
I gotcha.
Splitting the duties essentially right now. So that might also help to explain why Fox has been switching back to the support roles that you had mentioned too, just so we could focus on that a little bit more and not have to worry about actually aiming.
That is true. Yeah. I had a conversation a long time ago with an entry IGL, and he's like, yeah, I love being the IGL on entry. I'm right at the front of the battle. I get to call things. It works out really well. I was just thinking, I don't think that would work out too much because you really have to focus on clicking heads instead of telling the entire rest of the team what to do, where to be, Sometimes in IGL work, it's all the way down to how you have to be positioned and everything. Don't know how much babysitting goes into that sometimes. So Nyx is actually starting us off with a kill and a thinking nade. So already starting the defensive side strong. That's the Thatcher, but they already have the garage open. But you'd rather have thinking nade alive and have another man with a gun up.
Tried to take out one of the Evil Eyes. I believe it might have actually been a missed lifeline charge to try and take it out. That or it was shot at something else that I just couldn't see for the Maestro cam. Either way, though, it survives for at least that little bit longer, and it seems as though it's still there, so never dealt with. That's going to be a lot of intel going over to Rec. They've already got a +1 man advantage here. Spacestation, though, is trying to put pressure a little bit earlier on, although they started to shift it. I did see quite a few players changing up positions. That's where Bosco is going to be able to finally turn this round around a little bit here as he finds the first trade, bringing us into a 4v4. Fultz and Rampy both leading into windows. They're going to spin it. Oh, my goodness. Both players. What are you doing, Foxy? Why do you re-peek that? Fultz is going to get away with a second peek against him from Foxy. Canadian able to push in. He'll go for the plant. Looks like it's going to go off without a hitch here, just a half a second away. And there we go. It's onto the ground. Rampy also taking out Laxing in the process. Fultz not dead, but very low. And Rec with no real means to defend this anymore. Smoke's gonna hop out into his own death. That's Retro gone. And Vert's now alone. A good start as he finds the trade on Rampy. But now he's just above 50 HP and nothing now. Fultz finds the final kill.
Now Fultz picking himself up after he had been downed. Ability that is strictly unique to one offensive operator. It's going to be Zofia. Doc can also do it on the defense if he has stim pistols. But unlike Doc, where he gets back to 75 HP, because of the stim pistol shot, Zofia only has 5 HP. A good gust of wind could possibly knock her over, but she can still use her gun, effectively a glass cannon at that point. Works out for SSG to cut off the rotation for yellow. So, if you guys noticed, SSG also took quite a while to finally get some pressure onto the garage after getting the panels open. The difference maker there, though, is they adjusted around the defense. They went for hop in through benches, tried to find other places in order to gain some pressure, and it worked out for them. That's something that Reciprocity did not do. They would just sit outside of yellow, waiting for anyone to peek, and SSG would just wait. Reciprocity on this defense needs to get a little bit more aggro when it's presented to them. Not as aggro as Retro jumping over the box down into the actual bay of the garage, but still, Reciprocity is a team that wins gunfights, and that is their bread and butter. We don't see them taking too many of those on the defense.
So Reciprocity completing setup. They are attempting the basement again, and I can see the reasons why they would try to do that. Came very close and ultimately only lost it due to a mid-round adjustment that happened from SSG that, to be honest, I don't think Reciprocity ever really caught on to until it was too late. Some really good stuff there. I mean, the most notable example of that was Fox getting caught off at Spiral. He didn't think that there was anything there at all. Didn't hear footsteps and even went back to check it a second time as well. So Reciprocity need to be a little bit more heads up on catching things like that. Otherwise, Spacestation, I would imagine, is going to be able to pull off stuff like that on multiple rounds here. So their intel game is fantastic right now.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. On both sides of the coin, actually, the only time that they had a real rough defensive information game was that very first round where they only had the Maestro set up, and both the cameras got eliminated. That's how Reciprocity got the diffuser down, as well as allowed vertical inside. So as long as SSG prioritizes the info game, that's how you beat teams like Reciprocity that play that more aggro defense, where they'll have roamers literally everywhere, inside of every nook and cranny you could possibly think of. That's how Rec beat TSM yesterday. Is you got all these people inside of these rat corners, and you misdrone one thing, and they make you eat it. Like Laxing did yesterday with that 3K. SSG do not want to fall to the same sins that we saw yesterday from TSM. So with good drone work and a very excited Bosco as he drones out Vigil upstairs, SSG trying to take map 2.
We'll start the lockdown process now and attempt to locate him. Rampy going to be a little bit careful when he chooses to pop this wall, as players are going to be winning on this side. However, that's not the only player that's here. Fultz gets the first. Where's the trades coming in? One player peeks from yellow. Is it going to be enough, though? It doesn't look like it. Rampy making it out of there along with Fultz. All 5 players still alive for SSG, and now they know that there's presence sitting up here still. Fultz trying to leap back in, but way off the mark on the aim. Laxing is there for the trade, taking down Fultz and bringing us back into a 4v4.
And this is what we were talking about from Reciprocity. They're so good on this roam game, and this is what they needed to do on their defense throughout this entire map. Timer still ticks down, thinking Nate catches Laxing, slacking inside of Long Death. Vert with a trade, though, finds Canadian, and that's going to be the hard destructor. It is a lobby attack, though, so they don't have to worry about that too much, but we are equalized at this point. Rampy still roam hunting. Has to worry about some barbed wire at the bottom of the stairs that will give up his position. Chooses to back off. Finds himself a pest, bags that, continues on his merry way. They need to pick up the diffuser, and Bosco will do that. They are attacking the downstairs, actually. Apologies about that, but drone game still working out. They have complete piano control and plenty of time in order to get Bosco inside or Rampy in order to use their shotguns to open up that flooring and make that plant just a little bit safer.
Thinking Nate completing the droning process over in Archives to make sure they don't have anyone to deal with on rotates when they commit to this execute. Rampy now safe to move downstairs and take those main halls controls. Thinking Nate also getting ready to already push himself over towards the cafeteria and start taking control here. ADS does eat that first frag grenade. Second one's going to be thrown a little bit shorter so that it explodes earlier and gives him room to work with. Manages to make it past this spray pattern here. He's got the track slinger supporting him now as well. Nyx, though, shutting it down, but finally Rampy. His position on the inside is going to work out, but only for that kill. Retro trades it back a moment later, and Reciprocity shut down the round.
So I'm going to eat my own words here, and I'm going to say that was actually a great pick onto that thermite. Was not lobby, it was downstairs as the bombs were actually, downstairs. Hey, isn't that crazy? Anyways, that early pick onto the thermite is a huge impact on that round. They can't get the garage open anymore. There's nothing that they can really do there. So an adjustment to a back take doesn't work out too well for Reciprocity as 2 of their remaining 3 members get picked off, and all you have is Rampy, who more than likely did not have any info on Retro being inside of garage as he tries to make a mad dash towards kitchen. Jumping into round 9 now, though. Still up by 2, so don't have to worry about too much. Reciprocity needs to make a run here before match point is reached. Otherwise, this could be a 2-map lead for SSG.
Reciprocity, the setup for them shifts onto the normal sites. Not going to be messing around with some of these more creative ones like we're seeing SSG do to try and throw curveballs at Rec and successfully throw curveballs at them as well. Now we go upstairs for the defense here, and we'll see how much better the attack might end up being as well from their opponents here. Already one going into their favor, but losing that second one. So right now we're on actually pretty much the same exact path as we were in the first half with both teams trading the initial site choice.
Laxing making a super unique soft destruction at the top of the admin stairs, or the landing of the admin stairs, rather. I want to know what that's for, actually. I've never seen that, ever, It's
not
I'm going to assume, this is what I'm assuming it's for. It's more than likely for impacts in order to stop the, in order to stop anyone holding that angle or from breaking the reinforcement that they're going to put on that single panel inside of admin.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm assuming it's for. I've just never seen anyone use it. Yeah, they do have a reinforcement on the single panel for the administration office, so some very heads-up play from Laxing there as he can just rotate up the bottom of the admin stairs, throw a quick impact, gets rid of a set of X-Kairos, and that's going to expend quite a bit of utility for the offense.
Bosco going to set up a preset drone here to allow him to hopefully get some lobby control. Most importantly, keep watch on that, as he's actually going to end up going over towards balcony to start harassing a bit more. Those track stingers. No, never mind, it's the roof. That'll be his destination. Makes about just as much sense. We can get those track stingers on either stairwell as well. And if there's no presence there from Reciprocity, they'll go off without a hitch and block off the rotates. Which has been something that obviously Spacestation is going to have to deal with playing against a team like Reciprocity. Rampy already inside with full admin control here. He's ready to move in through copy. He's going to have Hibana support to go up on top of that as well. Looks like that should go off without too much trouble. Rampy also going to soft punch his way through into the admin connector, leading over towards the admin stairs. Try to hunt down this member of Reciprocity that's sitting down behind a reinforcement, so unfortunately not going to be able to get that one so easily with the deployable shield in the path.
Good info for SSG so far. Slow and methodical, but it works out for them. We've seen this throughout the entire tournament. We've highlighted it a couple times today. Canadian actually got to bounce an EMP off of his chest. Only takes a little bit of damage for that. Not enough to talk about. So, Vert still holding down Projector. It's been a pretty good admin clear so far. They have control of the mainstay areas that they need, Copy and Short Desk, and Nitro Cell goes off underneath Rampy, but it's not going to do any damage. That's Fox A playing on the mid floor, and that's actually a really, really big deal. That's the only Nitro Cell that they have downstairs and the only one that they have on the entire team. So you can no longer prevent anyone that's sitting on top of a desk planting the diffuser if they do get control of console. More than likely going to rotate up yellow to try and help out with gunfights instead.
Bosco still hunting, nearly manages to clip himself. The Maestro for Nyx on the other side. The wall right there, but not going to be able to find it. Bosco now off repel, going for the corner shot instead, and he does successfully knock out Vertical. That'll be Projector opened up a bit more here for the attack if that's going to be their plant destination. Not clear enough to actually attempt the plant, though. They are going to have to use some extra utility to have that security. The smoke tossed possibly just a little bit too far. It seems as though it was enough. 1-for-1 exchanges out in the hallway. Rampy trying to maintain his position. He's going to get one, but in the meantime, the defuse was interrupted. Only 2 seconds remaining. Wreck, however, is going to get run over by Spacestation as Rampy on the pistol gets the final kill with just about 2 seconds left on the clock.
It's got to be in the glasses, man. It's got to be in the glasses. I've never seen Rampy be so dominant inside of every single gunfight, no matter what weapon he has in his hand, until he started wearing those glasses. There's something magic inside of him, I'm telling you. But no, what a fantastic showing from SSG. Came down to 1 second. There was a breadstick sitting on the timer. And walking away with it. Reciprocity up by 3 rounds and looking to take Map2 as well. When will Reciprocity wake up?
Hopefully soon, as they're running out of time here. 3 rounds in a row is now what we need to see them get if they want to take control of at least the overtime for this map and still have a chance to take it 1-1. Otherwise, if a single round is won by Spacestation between now and then, they have map number 2. And only one more will separate them from the title here at USN 2019. Rec, if there's ever going to be something from you, it needs to come out now.
They're more than likely not sweating too hard, as Reciprocity tends to stay cool, calm, and collected in these instances, funny enough. They've made runs like this before, and they're going to try and do it again. They need 3 perfect rounds in order to bring things back and force us into OT on the second map. And of course, guys, if you guys have been fans of this game long enough, or, you know, you're not deaf, you more than likely have heard of the results of SI-18, where Evil Geniuses had 2 rounds up on the then Penta roster that is now G2, and then it quickly got ran back. So never count out anyone inside of a best of 5, because crazy things can happen. Nyx starts us off now, taking out Thinking Nate.
It's going to be Thatcher eliminated, thankfully. Not necessarily a whole lot of hard breach that needs to be pulled off with finesse coming into this round, but that's still going to hurt when it comes to eliminating pieces of utility and maybe getting the extra help with getting 1 or 2 of those walls up. It shouldn't mess them up too much, though.
So, fun fact there for you on the right side of your screen, SSG has dominated the entry battle so far with a 12-6 record in opening duels over Reciprocity. So they have double the entry frags. That's honestly insane, and probably a big proprietor of why they're winning so many rounds so early on. Obviously, Reciprocity winning it out this time, but they haven't had too good of turnover when it comes to round victories.
Bosco still on drone duty, once again checking out what's in projector here. Not much, to be honest, so should feel pretty clear to move in and take that control relatively soon. He does still have to be careful of the side rooms. I don't believe he had a chance to go and drone those yet. Oh, still alive though.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
Just,
that balcony is just outside of the suicide distance. So it's very, very close there for Bosco. He's not going to take too much damage from it, but just about half. So definitely going to be a detriment inside of his gunfights as he sees Doc run off. Retro's just going to dock himself back to full HP. So a reset there. Bosco's still low on HP as obviously no Doc exists on the offense. SSG has some pressure inside of the building. Bolt's currently on Spiral, has one sitting downstairs inside of his teller's office. Pretty good clear so far for SSG. Oh, he's looking for him. He knows that he's here. He's on drone. Here's one clearing. Do they know that Fultz is here, though? This is such a big deal. It looks like he knows now as Laxing is looking towards it, but Fultz wins it out anyways. ACOG over the 1X any day of the week.
quickly going to see Fultz retreat. He does not want to find himself getting traded a few seconds later, and it's a smart decision, as has been most of SSG throughout this series so far. Bit of a utility patch there for Bosco, so he'll knock out both of those ADSs. Won't be able to be used later on in the round here. SSG looking like they are very close to being ready to commit, and they need to be. Time, again, going to become an issue for them. 30 seconds remaining, a large majority of the roster being forced to swing down the spiral stairs here. That's a dangerous angle. You've got 4 or 5 different crossroads as to where this connects. You can be cut off from many, many different positions. Looks like they make it through it without too much of an issue. Rec is playing very, very passively right now. Their angles will be smoked out. Fultz is even going to find Fox when he tries to run out and deny the plan. Second player is also taken down when they try to run out, and now Diffuser goes down. They'll be ripped to shreds as well, and Spacestation absolutely destroy the second map. Reciprocity goes completely silent on the final round and can do nothing about that site take.
SSG looking dominant on every single front, folks. Let them know. Let's hear those SSG chants. Give them your energy, because they're going to need it rolling into this last game. Is it going to be a 3-0 Blue? Right now, it really is looking like it. 7-2 and 7-3, I believe, if I can remember both of the maps correctly. That was just absolute domination overall.
And the thing is, I was worried a little bit about individual performances from Reciprocity in map number 1. It seems as though that issue has been, for the most part, taken away in map number 2. I don't think we had any issues with individual performances, but again, SSG is just taking so much opportunity away from them. We are going to go to a short break here, ladies and gentlemen, so do stick with us. But when we come back, we'll have plenty more action here from the finals.